Good evening. Sorry about the heater. I have to have this thing running, and of course, you know how it goes. When they start to get dusty or whatever, the blades will rub against the dust or whatever that's in there. So I gotta take it apart here at some point. I've obviously been on a really bad emotional roller coaster type situation. It's obvious. Everybody gets to watch it and see it. You know, and I've said repeatedly, there's different things that's been brought to my awareness. And there's things I obviously can't talk about. The one thing I really do want to talk about, I mean, one of the things I guess you could say, is when certain people come back into your life that you don't expect, and even though you haven't got to, like, see them, but you know they're there, and you know that, like, yeah. And when you're dealing with, in essence, multiple energies, kind of multiple people, all at once just kind of bombarding you, it gets really hard to almost be able to tell apart who's who. I've already moved past what I thought was my last relationship because I thought it was a relationship, only to learn it never existed. It was fake. The entire thing was fake. And so I've been and dealing with the narcissism, the abuse, like the gang stalking, the cyber stalking, all this other stuff going on. In the midst of it all, that, it's sometimes hard for me to be able to tell one person from another when it's going on, because things begin to overlap. And it creates this great big mind fucking confusion. I realize I've got a lot to work on, when it comes to, how I deal with too much stress. I normally do really well. It's been used to do really well. I'll just say it that way. I'd say normally, but yeah, over the last, especially, the last couple weeks, it's been really difficult, especially as, I been learning new things about, I guess you could say my life and others, learning that people have done some really scandalous, sick things, including, I'm aware that there's a good chance that somebody, took video and posted it, and they're not supposed to. They shouldn't have. And yeah, I've had my defenses up really, really high. And I realize with some people, I need to let them down. Let my defenses down. And when people that I have not seen in a long time, and I mean a long time, like 30 years, and it's still going, I haven't seen them, but to have that moment of interaction again, during this big mess, I feel really bad about how I am. I'm not happy about myself and how I'm handling things right now. And to be honest, I don't really want to lose that person again. They do mean they mean a lot to me. And whether it's a friendship, more than a friendship, it doesn't matter. I don't want to lose them again. And There are people out there who are genuinely really important to me, and I understand there's a lot of my past I've got to let go and move on from. It's being able to decipher which parts. I've got to let a lot of things go and a lot of people go. I've got to get through this healing process, and I realize as I've said before, I can only do so much on my own, and right now at the given moment, it's like I realize I need some level of guidance. And because I'm afraid of most people, I don't trust most people after everything that's gone on. It's like my boundaries are up really high. And so it's like, unless I know specifically who I'm connecting with or communicating with, I keep a bit of a barrier going. Yet at the same time, I've got other interferences. Doesn't mean that I'm out being attached to anybody. No, not really. No. I do have, a fondness and all that for certain music and certain artists. Do I know them? No, I don't know them from Adam. I've never met them before. But I appreciate them, and I have a lot of gratefulness for that person for helping respark my faith and bring me back to my faith. Because I almost lost it. I was ready to give up in that moment. Yet I realized that I'm in this like torn situation where it's not that I don't want to. There's certain people I don't want to go back to from my past. I'm not about going back to relationships that I've had. But there are friends that I don't want to lose. And there's people I haven't seen in a long time that, in all honesty, I would almost give anything just to get a hug from them again. I've been on edge a lot, and it's obvious. And I struggle with, I guess you could say, mind games right now, because I went through some really bad ones with somebody who messed with my head for a really long time. And I don't really fully understand why. Like, I've gotten bits and pieces of the truth. I've got other bits and pieces of the truth that it's one of those things. It's like, I don't want to go by off of gut instinct and how I guess you could say, received that information. I really need to see it. Like, I need to make sure that I'm not confusing what I'm learning. I know I have things I need to work on, and a lot of it does involve with me in my defensiveness right now and being on edge. It's needing to detach from these things, basically for a while, and completely detaching from a toxic environment. Because just walking around in these places, there's few places that I can go that, that all have good memories, but there's few places that are here that I'm not reminded of basically people who hurt me pretty damn bad. And it's not that I'm struggling to get past those things. I just don't need to be around those reminders. I have enough already in my memory that I don't need the reminders. I need to heal, and I can't do that when I'm stuck here. I realize that there's a possibility that I may have the ability to be able to, not just be able to at least catch up a couple of my bills so that way I'm not sitting behind, but to where I can actually, I guess you could say, leave. at least for a little bit. I just don't know. I don't know what else to do. I was ready to go just Friday. I was ready. I was like, yep, I'm ready to go right now. But I also realized it's not in God's timing, obviously, and I've got to wait. I'm kind of stuck waiting on that because of the way I've dealt with different ones approaching me via strange phone calls, harassing phone calls, the name calling type phone calls, the stalking that's gone on. And I'm not talking about, by necessarily a specific person, but by a series of people. And that when it's somebody that, in all honesty, it's like, you can stalk me all you want. In fact, just don't bother stalking. Just come to me or whatever. Just talk to me. That type of thing. It's like that. It's like, just talk to me. It's hard for me to be able to defer different ones, especially when things are getting jumbled up. I want more peace in life, to be honest. And I don't like feeling the way I have been. I don't like this loneliness that I've been dealing with. And yes, I have found my faith and my friendship in God. Yet let's be real here. In essence, if God didn't understand that people do have a desire to have a companion, a friend, that partner, all that, God wouldn't have created Eve. And putting fear into people to the point that they're put into some sort of mental and emotional prison from fear and threats, it affects everything that happens from there, including other relationships. It affects friendships. It affects everything. And so when I'm dealing with more than one person who knows their computers, who's had access to my various accounts, and even though I've changed passwords, yes. Oh, my nose won't stop itching. I admit it's affected some other connections, I think. Because I've been on edge, my hopes have been up. I'm just anxious all the time. It's like, something's coming, and it's not, there's a couple things, you're dealing with some bad shit. At the same time, for some reason, something is going to be coming through that's not bad. It's like there's a weird race happening. I don't know how to explain that. It sounds crazy. It's just, my nose won't stop itching. It's just, I feel bad for how I've responded and reacted to different friends of mine. I feel bad having to cut off different ones. There are ones that it needed to happen. It really did, because I've got to be able to get my life together, and I can't keep holding on to some of these toxic, what do you call it? Like, almost like toxic behaviors. I can't be responding to people the way I have and being on edge the way I have. And it's like, there's no comfort going on really in my life. There's comfort coming to, in essence, to my heart at times. And a lot of times, especially, when I go on my walks, when I, having my conversations with the big guy, in essence, just trying to figure things out. It's kind of like talking out loud and just trying to figure shit out. And it's like, what do you do? I've dealt with so much confusion with all this. It's like, yeah. And I'm willing to take a leap of faith either way. You know, when it comes down to it, it doesn't mean, yeah, I'm not one of those people. I juggle people. I don't believe in that shit. I don't like that third party bullshit. I've gone through that myself for so fucking long, and that's why I'm in this situation, is because I was being triangulated and put in a third party situation. Sorry. I'm one of those people. I need people to be upfront with me. You know, I, even though I have fun with, in essence, you know, I guess you could say co-breaking. I mean, I don't intend to do that, and that's not something I do on purpose, but obviously somebody showed me that there's some talents that I have, in essence. It's not just seeing the mistakes in a movie or picking up on people who are just blatantly fucking lying and playing games. Yeah. There's a lot of things that during this process that has been brought forefront, and it created a lot of chaos in my head. It's still there a little bit, and yeah, I'd like to know and understand more. You know, it's just at the same time, you know, because of the high stress, all that, everything that's gone on, I may be over someone, you know, especially where my son's mom's concerned. I'm definitely over her. I'm still getting past not just all the betrayal that's going on, all the lying, all the triangulation, all the attacks, all of it, the stalking, the threats, the indirect threats, all this stuff that's been going on. And so it's like, I feel bad for how I've responded to different ones in some of this. Especially that one person. I really do feel bad. I've been trying like really hard on working on how I cope with things, and when it comes to people, I'm not very good with it right now. Because everybody that I've had a part of my life, minus maybe a couple people, have done some really messed up things. Have lied to me in some really bad ways and have continued to hide those lies. And I've already picked up on them. What exactly? Not 100% sure, but I'm aware that some friends were obviously persuaded. And not just shit talking going on. I think, yeah. I'm trying to get myself more collected. All this, I recognize I need therapy. I need counseling. I need to see a counselor. So I can get through these steps right here, because I don't like my communication skills. I do, like I've said it almost in every vid. I listen to myself. If I was anybody else, I'd be like, that guy's a fucking asshole and he's a dick. I'm probably one of the first people to tell you I am a fucking asshole. Is it something that I intentionally try to be or do? No, it's not. It's something that has developed in me over time because I got tired of being a doormat. I got tired of being used. I got tired of being lied to. I got tired of giving everything I can to people that only give a little bit. That's why I don't have a whole lot of patience for some situations like that. It's like, I can't keep, it's like, it's almost like there's got to be more to this than what it's been. I guess that's the short version to say it. I know what I want in life. You know, it's just, I need someone, like, if somebody's gonna come to me, I need them to be upfront. I need them to be yeah, I can't have people coming to me, in essence playing a game. I've got to have people coming, like, being up front. Sorry. And because right now, yeah, I've been on edge, on constant edge, because I've dealt with the constant bullshit. So when somebody's not necessarily trying to come at me in a bad way, but it's in a way that's kind of like the rest of this, it makes it hard. There's a person out there, especially that I'd respond. Like I said, I've been feeling really bad, and it's somebody that, in all honesty, I I couldn't treat that way, especially even face to face. I don't like how I responded and reacted to kind of the things that are going on and the form of communication that's been happening. Sorry, this thing's starting to annoy me a little bit. I'm at fault for how I've been responding to different people and pushing people away, and I need to let some people in closer to me, where others, they can basically stay where they're at, if that makes sense. I want to do more with this life. I don't want to be stuck in this prison. I want my, like I've said before, I want my life back. I want my sanity back. I want a family for once that actually wants me around. And I want somebody I can actually share this life with. If I'm That's the thing that I have an issue with. When I give myself to somebody, I give all of myself to them. And that may be a big flaw to me, to people, but I, like, that's my equal. That's my, I guess you could say, my twin. That's my, yeah. And if I know that in essence, kind of in a way, like, reciprocated, like, I know that they feel that same way, I I won't ever have to question. See, when I felt that way with my son's mom, like, I thought we were like a team. I didn't realize that there was a big bullshit game going on. Whoops. Sorry. And I was giving everything I got. I was happy. I was proud of the relationship, everything. But as she started pulling back, started obsessing over other people, doing this weird shit, and her mask started coming off, that's when it just, yeah. So it's like, I went a long time, like over a decade, not realizing this was a big fucked up game, and that there's been some fucked up things going on involving my family, involving my kids, my son's mom, various friends, complete and utter strangers. Like, there's a big weird thing going on. And there's so much shit that it's like, I've said it like many other things multiple times over and over again. It sounds crazy to me, but it's going on. I know it's going on. There's been scams going on, all that shit under my nose and at my expense too. I've been going a while with my head being scrambled and messed with, and like I said, by multiple people. So if there's, even 5 people in essence messing with my head, and one of them is not actually trying to mess with my head, but they're actually trying to help me or something, I can't tell the difference in that mix, because the message, it's all coming at once. And as I've been able to slowly filter things down, yes, I'm still on edge. Yes, I'm still going to respond to some of this stuff because I'm tired. I've been threatened so much. Nonstop. I don't. I'm tired of the hate and the threats. And I'd like to be somewhere, and yes, honestly, with somebody that I can feel safe with. That I can actually be completely open with and share everything with again. Because I realized this last person completely utilized that for self-gain at my expense, and basically sacrificing me to the devil for their gain. They made a deal with the devil, all for personal gain. If that person's watching and listening still, I just want them to know that I'm sorry. I'm just trying to take things day by day right now, moment by moment, because I'm I've been trying to process everything, and with my brain, there's a reason why I'm a little bit slow. Between obvious head injuries and multiples over the years, all of that. And yes, some of it self-inflicted from dealing with my Asperger's, my ASD, and not even knowing what was wrong. I used to slam my head into tables trying to cope with things. Walls, metal doors, because I didn't know how to handle it. I hadn't done that, in all honesty, I hadn't had those types of reactions in over 20 years. Like, I was getting it under control. And then my son's mom found a way to be able, figured out, like, yeah, basically the sequence to cause these triggers, these reactions, and she'd do it at will. And so, yeah, she started seeing me like smash my head into the wall again. So it's like, I'm aware of the suggestive nature that people have on my mind, and that's why I become very defensive towards things, or will push things away, because it's like, I don't want to go through that. My ASD and all, going all those years not knowing that I had it, and then to learn it, and then to have somebody realize and learn that that's what I have, and they know the triggers to fuck with somebody that is on spectrum, because they work with people like that, and they took advantage of that. They used my ability to keep giving them a benefit of a doubt, even when I knew that they were doing things they weren't supposed to. I kept trying. I kept wearing those rose-colored glasses for a long time, even when I knew what was going on. Not everything. What was brought to light, not if somebody came to me with some paperwork going, this is what's been going on, this is what's happened, blah, 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 I probably won't be surprised at this point. Including the various people that may be involved. I just wouldn't be surprised. Oh, sorry. It's just, there's a wish that I've had for 30 years that I buried away because I never thought. I just gave up on it. And when I realized that it's in grasp, I'm afraid of it because I'm not sure how to receive it. Like I don't, I almost, I almost need someone to show me how to do it again. Like, sort of, I don't know how to explain it. Like, sort of bring me back. I got so lost in everything that's been going on, especially the last several years. Waking up in that hospital, all that crazy shit that's been going on, all this weird, crazy shit. Like I said, there's other things that I want to speak up on and say out loud, but I would rather not speak about it unless I was in a safe place, that I knew I was somewhere safer than where I am now. I still want to, yeah, I would like my life back. I'd like at least my, as much of my sanity back as possible, at least to the degree that I can fully understand what's in my brain and the things that I've learned. Like, I understand them, but it's like, and it's one of those things of I'm not even doubting. It's like needing that one solid piece, like solid, not something that I've learned the way I have, but that solid bit. Like, here, I'm that kind of idiot. I'm sorry. Even though I genuinely believe what I've been told, because I don't really believe that person that I'm speaking of would go out of their way to lie to me. Not like that. And I just know if they were to be standing in front of me face to face, there's so much I would like to say. And yes, I'd be more than happy to let everybody see what I have to say. You don't expect that second chances can happen, that miracles do happen, that wishes and dreams can come true. Whether some dreams to some people were like, wait a minute, weren't you just talking about that you were having some fucked up dreams and all that? Yeah, I have fucked up dreams. Do I like them? No. But this is a different type of dream. And yeah. Like I said, I hope they are watching this. And I hope they understand that, I am sorry about how I've been. When it comes to all these other people, though, that have been pulling some shit, like really bad shit, I don't hate any of you. Even though I'm aware of enough that anybody else in my seat would probably fucking hate you. And they would probably want to see worse happen than what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see all of you, depending on the degree of involvement, either behind bars getting fucking help or in a facility getting help. The very places that some people were trying to get me permanently locked into. I don't want to see anybody getting hurt. I'm tired of the threats. I'm tired of all the hate. I want them to get help. Real help. Just like I need some help to deal with these residual effects of what I have gone through, and the idea that there's so much more that I'm learning that is linked to this shit, yet also not linked. I guess that's how I can say that. I've got a lot on my mind that I've got to process. And that's why, like, going on my walks like I did today and everything, those things are important. That's, like I say, that's my therapy, my therapy session with God, my phototherapy and all that stuff. Because that's, yeah. I'm paying attention to how certain interactions are too and all that stuff. And so I know this all sounds weird to people. I'm trying my best not to push everybody away, especially people who don't deserve to be pushed away. And I'm sorry to everyone that's been watching me kind of be on this kind of this erratic roller coaster. From moment to moment, I'm okay and not okay and all this stuff. I'm battling a lot of loneliness too. I'm battling a whole lot of it. And we're not talking weeks, we're talking years worth of loneliness. And I don't know how to receive from other people. I'm used to receiving chaos from someone who says that they love me. And it's like, I don't want somebody to feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me either. I just need people to communicate. I just need people to be upfront to me. That's all it is. Because if I was in more of a mentally healthier state of mind and all, I would be able to respond a lot better to certain situations, if that makes sense. And I'm going through all this confusion that's happening because I've got all this stuff that not only have I learned about what my son's mom has been doing, along with some of these others that are involved. Not all the details, thankfully, but I've been learning plenty. I'm not surprised for some odd reason. But there's things that I guess you could say, I've been learning about myself and my family, and I've got questions. Like, there's some things that have been answered, but there's particular ones I really want to ask, but this isn't the place to ask. And so, like, whatever, it comes to me, whether it's like nothing changes or everything changes, that type of thing, I'm ready for it. I know that depending on what it is, I may not necessarily have the greatest responses. I'll definitely have a better understanding. Just I'm limited. I'm stuck. And being stuck like this, I don't have the resources to do much of anything. I'm not the kind of person who wants to go out and panhandle or beg for money. I don't like that stuff. And every time I've had to ask for help, it makes me feel uncomfortable. And at times it angers me because by this point in my life, I should be in a position I should have been able to take care, to do it, like not need to ask for help. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to have somebody drain me all this time while they, yeah. I've been all over the place and I recognize it. Yet when I also see that I'm at risk of also losing somebody that has been heavily important to me for years, like for years. Somebody that has been as equally important to me as my brother Jess, my brother Nate, my sister Heather, and I can name a couple others. I don't want to lose that again. And I need, it sounds horrible, but you know, when I say I need, because to me, I really don't like those words because it makes you sound needy or incapable. I'm just, I guess you could say I'm just waiting on a miracle. I do believe they happen. It's just I can't do anymore. I'm like I said, I'm stuck. I'm so limited because I've been drained so heavily in multiple ways. And I just, anyways, I'm gonna cut this here. You know, thanks for hearing me out. You know, I'm really trying my best to work on things, and I really am, because I've had lots of time to reflect. I've had some years to do it, and when new things are brought to me, I try to reflect on it and learn from it, try to process it, and when things like this is come to light, I really actually need help on it. I really do. And with all this other shit that's been going on, yeah. Again, thanks for watching. And I hope you guys have a good night and be safe. You know, I do believe in it. God is real. And no matter how hard things get, how much it sucks, just don't lose your faith. Thanks for watching.